We're here at Cedar Springs Brewing Company, where we are in the members-only seating area, and
Stammtisch.
I've heard that there are some special rules when it comes to drinking and toasting. David Ringler is here, the owner. I'll let you explain.
Little tiny rules as we enjoy a wonderful Kuster Bohemian Pils and a wonderful Munich Dunkel from Kuster. There's a couple of special rules. First of all, whenever you are presented with a brand new beer, you should always offer a toast. And if you happen to raise your glass at the same time of anybody else, you always offer a toast. So you will offer up a toast. You tip the bottom of the glass. That's the thick part that won't break.
It won't break. Exactly.
In the Augen schauen, you look each other in the eye and you acknowledge around the table. Now, there's also an old tradition that you may tap the table to seal before you take a sip.
Oh.
Now, there is a little bit of history behind this, and some of it may or may not be true. But the story is, first of all, let's consummate our glass. But there's a story that when the Kaiser Wilhelm was negotiating with the Bavarian kings, because Bavaria was the last state to come into the Greater German Union during the First Reich. And the story is that they were drinking in a beer garden with the large beer mugs, and that they went to toast, and Kaiser Wilhelm had to set his glass down to adjust his glass. And so by tapping the glass, this is actually a sign of weakness, so you should not do this.
Oh,
but there are many who actually do this to kind of seal the deal with us. And we are sitting at the Stammtisch. And if you are in a Bavarian restaurant or a beer hall, there will be a Stammtisch, which is the regulars table, where the Stammgast, or the regular guest, is always seated. This is a table that's special, that you have to be invited. It will always be marked. A lot of times there'll be a chandelier or a fancy ashtray to designate the Stammtisch, and you have to be invited to sit there. So it's a real sign of acceptance. When I lived over there, I was over there for about 5 years, but for me in the local town that I was in, I knew I was accepted once I was invited to sit at the Stammtisch. You were allowed to sit down there. We've kind of adopted that tradition a little bit here at Cedar Springs Brewing, and we use this as our kind of our mug club, our members table. So one of the cool little features of that is we have a lot of regulars that either they can come in by themselves, they can always sit down and meet a friend at the Stammtisch, or if it happens to be a busy night and there's a wait for seating, a lot of times they can just come right in and sit down, because this table is always reserved for Stammtisch to come in and seat themselves. So it makes it relatively gemütlich, and we've had a lot of folks who have lived in this town their entire lives and have met here, and now every Tuesday they come in and meet for a beer. So
here's to membership and the perks.
And community.
Prost.